Hey everyone, Josh Rhodes here, founder, CEO of Agent Leads, and I have the pleasure of spending a few minutes with you and with Regla Rosario from South Florida. She's a residential real estate agent dominating the South Florida market. She does a fantastic job, not only as a parent, but as a real estate advisor. And so it's fantastic just to be able to visit with you, Regla, in your home today. And honestly, just extract what we call a gold nugget from your brain and your success and your pattern of success so far as a real estate agent. And I'm excited to dig in with you. So welcome to this call.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. So I started using Agent Leads last February, so I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary. And I think that the biggest advice that I can give, not only an agent on Agent Leads, but any agent, that's thinking about Facebook leads is, Josh and I were talking, it's really about the visibility that you have. You're getting in front of thousands of people every day that otherwise you would not have the opportunity to do so. And I think Josh says 14 to 15 times a day. I really think that people are on Facebook at least 20 to 25 times a day.
Yeah, and why do you say that visibility is so important? Because what I'm hearing from you is that visibility precedes lead generation, right? Like, is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, I think that the more, let's say, as far as for me, in my community, besides the people that I deal with on an everyday basis, I really didn't have the opportunity to get out there in front of my community as much as I do with my Facebook ad. And, they're seeing me, they're seeing my company. And when I started, I did, I would send out postcards. I would, definitely the same things that everyone does. I did the cold calling. I, spoke to everyone and anyone that would listen to me. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. But still, that's only, I would say a handful of people. But when I started getting, when I signed up with Agent Leads, I realized that I was getting seen by hundreds of people. And yeah, not everyone's going to click and want more information, but right now in my pipeline, I have over 300 leads. And I don't think I could have generated that many leads if it wasn't for Agent Leads University.
I think that's awesome. And I think the thing that we take for granted, it's interesting what you bring up, because you enter into the real estate industry and the industry doesn't necessarily tell you how to win.
No.
There's not a yellow brick road, if you will, to success. And it's funny because the very things that we take for granted, like my Facebook app, like the thing that's on my phone and I'm looking at all the time, is the thing that can actually grow my real estate business. And because it's the platform effect, I think, is what you've tapped into, not only with our program in Agent Leads, but also just understanding how the world works. Like, Facebook created a platform, Zillow created a platform, Realtor.com has a platform, and those platforms, it's kind of like owning the racetrack, right? Mm-hmm. We're just identifying the racetrack that I need to race my car on, right? Yeah. And that's Facebook. There's more visibility for the race car in the race, i.e. real estate business, to brand yourself, to be more visible. And then what obviously succeeds visibility is lead generation and the ability, to be in a grocery store and go, oh, I recognize you. I saw you doing the, open house video, or the 5 tips to list your home and sell it fast video, or whatever that is. People start recognizing you in the community. Have you experienced people recognizing you more often? Tell me what that's like.
I don't know if they've recognized me, but definitely, even, it's funny, within Facebook. So like all people that it's like kind of weird. People that are already on Facebook or like are friends of my friends, and I'll run the ad and they've clicked on my ad and I've called them to follow up and they're like, oh, I know you, I'm so-and-so's girlfriend. I've actually, seen you before or whatever the case. So, not only are you reaching people how can I put it? You're not only reaching people you don't know, but you're reaching people that are close to your sphere of influence, but maybe you would have never approached them and said, hey, I'm a realtor. So you're in the community. Like people here, I live in Boca Raton, and in my community here in South Wind Lakes, I'll have people say, hey, you know what? I've seen your ad. Even if they are not looking, but they've seen the ad. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives you the opportunity to be top of mind.
Yeah, like a conversation starter,
Totally, yeah. And obviously the secret weapon when it comes to real estate sales is to be top of mind when people are ready to take action. It's not like shopping. Shopping for real estate, buying real estate isn't something that, obviously families do, I guess, every 3, 5, 7 years. It's not a commodity. And so you have to be ready to be the premium authority leader in a very confined local geographic space that's flooded with agents. Like, you are not the only real estate agent in Boca Raton, obviously.
Definitely not.
So you're utilizing social media, specifically Facebook advertising, to stand out a little bit. What else do you feel like, let's pretend you're talking to a brand new agent, or maybe it's a 35-year veteran who is trying to reinvent themselves. What's the one thing you wish you would have known the day you got your license that you know now that you would just immediately tell yourself all over again if you could?
The one thing I would tell a new agent that I didn't know, well, I'll tell you, I didn't know how to generate leads, period. I just did not know. And I think that...
Did you know that was a skill that was going to be required? Like, did you know that was going to be fundamental?
It's sad to say, but I didn't know. I was in real estate for 20-something years, but on the closing side. So that's not even something that you have to deal with. So when I became an agent, I was like, oh, I'm an agent. Awesome. I signed up with a company and I really didn't get any type of training. The closings that I had when I started in real estate were really people that I knew, friends of friends and things like that. And then I started realizing, okay, now what do I do? I want to be successful, but I have no idea of how to generate leads. And that was my number one question to other agents when I started, hey, where do you get your leads from?
Yeah.
And it's sad, but a lot of agents don't want to share that information with you.
Right.
They kind of feel like, listen, there's enough business. I'm in Boca Raton. It is saturated with real estate agents. And I think that there's enough business for everyone to make money. So when somebody asks me that question now, I tell them, I do, Facebook ads, I run open house ads, and it's like they're surprised that that's even a thing.
Yeah.
Especially the not older generation, but older agent that's still stuck on, following up on expireds or for sale by owners and things like that, and door knocking. So it kind of blows them away when I tell them, well, the amount of leads I've gotten, that within basically 3 months, I closed my first deal that I got from a lead that I got from a Facebook advertising. So definitely the advice that I would give is you have to go with the times. This is the era of technology. People get their mail and they don't even look at postcards. They just throw everything in the garbage. But when people are on social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, and like we were saying, at least 20 times a day. Everyone, I think everyone, when they wake up in the morning, they're like, oh, and they'll see what notifications they have. I mean, that's like the first thing a lot of people do. Absolutely. So I think that you have to see what the trend is, what people are doing, and you have to go with the times. You have to be able to, I guess, be flexible and adapt. You have to adapt.
Totally. And I would also, for those of you watching this, like, I know Regla's making it sound easy, or you might be thinking, well, okay, I get it. I need to use Facebook. But part of it too is knowing how to use it. Like, one of my favorite analogies is, Facebook is like Excalibur, the weapon, from King Arthur, but you still have to know how to sword fight.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have a recipe, a choreography, and understand that there's certain things that people care about, and there's certain things that people don't care about. Mm-hmm. And if you're a real estate agent, you don't want to run a Facebook ad with your political beliefs.
Yeah.
Or run a lot of it is definitely exposing your person to the marketplace so that they will know, like, and trust you, which is something that Regla and I have worked on in our inner circle mastermind. But know, like, and trust. Like, the number one thing in sales first is that they need to like you. Mm-hmm. And so not providing antagonistic content or adversarial content, even if it might be what you believe, but being helpful is really the other way around. So how can you position yourself on Facebook and Instagram and other social media to be resourceful, to be an authority, to be someone that tells the Boca Raton market something that maybe they were taking for granted. And so that's how you need to use social media. So that's super helpful, I think, for someone starting out, because that saves them a lot of time. Like, it may sound like really simple advice that you're giving, Regla, but it actually is something that, like I said, I wish you knew the first day you started, so that you could save some time, some runway, some learning curve. So the design for these video calls is to be short and sweet. Are there any final thoughts that you would add? Anything else, or tips or tricks that you would throw out to a new or even an established agent that is just a core part of your sales and marketing apparatus that you use all the time?
Well, I think the number one thing for me that when I generated these leads, or the program, is I think I was overwhelmed with the response. And if someone who is in the Agent Hub, if this follow up,
yeah,
when this was all new to me, and like you mentioned, I knew, Facebook ads, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I was boosting posts and I was running ads, but I wasn't doing it the right way. Well, this system is structured for you to follow it and be successful. And the one advice that I would give is follow up. You want to be you want to be the first thing that pops into their mind when they're like, okay, I'm ready to buy. And that was probably my biggest mistake. So I don't want someone else to make the same mistake, which is, the leads were coming in, it's a lot, and or maybe that's not your case, but definitely follow up. Even when some time passes, I watch to see if maybe a month from now they open up one of the emails, and I follow up again. And sometimes I've gotten them back, just by watching what the trend is. Are they opening up the emails? Are they responding?
That's brilliant. Yeah, like, if you're using Facebook ads or not, like, Regla just gave you a great tip that a lot of people don't do, which is, if you're using an email service provider and you're sending out automated drip emails, or even if you're sending out broadcasts or manual newsletters or whatever, looking at the opens, and because your email service provider will tell you which contact opened which email and if they clicked, etc. Marketing and sales is all about micro commitment. So opening an email is a micro commitment. Clicking on your ad, micro commitment. Becoming a lead, micro commitment, but it doesn't stop there. You have to go 5 to 12 touches to get, that's where 80% of sales are coming from, statistically speaking. And so what you just said, Regla, is really actually business changing. And I hope whoever's watching this listens. I know that people cliche hear it all the time, follow up, follow up, follow up, but it's really science. It's not just hoorah, hot air that people are saying. Like, you really do have to follow up, and there's smart ways to do that, and there's ways that are more process oriented to do that. But definitely, I think the NAR in the United States put out a stat that 46% of leads never get followed up with by a real estate agent. And that's indicting on the industry, but it's telling that at least half of our agents don't have systems, processes, or know-how in place. And so it's important for you to develop yourself, to skill up and become the agent that the other agents aren't willing to become. So, Regla, we think you're a fantastic agent to look up to. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And I hope everyone watching, if you're watching this, comment below with questions. Give Regla a high five virtually. And thank you so much, Regla, for being with me.
Thank you.